Dear Crystal Anokam, Institute of International Education has completed its review of applicants for the 2024-25 academic year. We regret to inform you that your application has not been recommended for further consideration. Ouch. First rejection letter of the year. Damn. Welcome to the Chasing Genius Show, the number one show for creatives in pursuit of their own creative genius. My name is Crystal, and I am your host for this podcast. If you're new, welcome to the channel, welcome to the vibes, welcome to the show. I am so happy to have you. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back, homie. Happy to have you. I hope your week has been going swell. I've gotten a little bit of a curveball this week, and that's what we're going to talk about today is how do we as creatives deal with rejection. I got my first rejection letter, and it definitely hurt. It stung. It was very difficult to not take it personal. And I think a lot of times when we deal with rejection, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to, further education like graduate programs, when it comes to business or grants or whatever it is that we apply ourselves to, and then we get a letter that says that we regret to inform you, and it's not a congratulations, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started this year with high energy, with excitement. Like many of us, the opportunities of the year are limitless. We are energized. We feel like we are unstoppable, like nothing could come in our way, like there's nothing anybody could tell us, because this is going to be a successful year. And it's only the first month of the year, and to be hit with something that you worked really, really hard for, like for myself, like I commit 110% to myself when I do things. I'm not the type of person that half-ass things. Like, if I'm going to do something, I commit to it, even if that means early mornings or late nights, if it means meeting consistently with an advisor, meeting consistently with friends to review applications, to give feedback, to make something stronger, I will do that. So when all those efforts compound together and then you get a letter or feedback that just says like, right now is not the right time, or we're not looking for someone like you, or we regret to inform you. If you get a letter that's basically not congratulations, because let's just be honest, this year all I wanted to hear was congratulations, and the first thing I hear is we regret to inform you. It stings. It hurts your ego. It hurts your self-worth. It's really difficult to not take that personal, because it's like, damn, like what did I do? What did I not have? What was I missing? Am I not good enough for this opportunity? What did the other candidates have? And then you start feeling jealous, and then you start feeling envious, and then you start feeling angry, heartbroken, sad, just like a range of mixed emotions, because it feels like an opportunity literally just slipped through your fingers and you don't really understand why. In some cases you can get feedback and you can hear like, okay, this is where my application fell short, so I could correct it for next time. But 9 times out of 10 they send you that, and then they tell you, please do not hit us up. We're not gonna give you feedback on your application, like either because they don't have the bandwidth to do so, probably because they don't really care to do that. So now you're just like, now I really don't even know what I did wrong or what made my application miss the mark. And I've been literally going back and forth. Like, I felt all the emotions. I felt sadness. I felt heartbroken. I felt discouraged. I felt frustrated. There's no plan B. Like, this was the plan, and now the plan is not planning. So now I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Damn, like I was so close, but I didn't get it. Rejection really does suck, and I think a lot of creatives, we experience it sometimes a lot, because we're applying to these programs and grants and trying out for jobs and getting interviewed or not getting interviews, reaching out to recruiters, not getting responses, applying to programs, not getting into programs. And sometimes it can get very, very frustrating because it's like I'm taking a step forward and now I'm taking 2 steps back. I'm taking a step forward and now I'm taking 2 steps back. And before you know it, you just feel like everything is just not going your way. And I'm here to tell you, first of all, you're not alone. You are not alone in those feelings. A lot of us feel that way. It's very, very easy to feel discouraged, to not feel motivated, to not feel inspired, to not want to continue, and to honestly just give up. Like, it's so easy to be like, yo, you know what? Forget about it. Like, I'm not even going to bother trying anymore. I'm not going to bother doing this thing because clearly, it's not meant for me. It's very easy to fall into those dark, negative thoughts. But the truth is, you can't take these things personal. Like, it feels personal, but it isn't. Like, I'm a firm believer in what's meant for you is meant for you. And sometimes, which is true, like, I've heard the saying, like, you make plans and God laughs, because God is the only person that actually knows what the fuck going on with your life. Like, I don't know what's going on with my own life. I only know this present moment right now, and I know what happened yesterday, day before, in the past years, but I can't see the future. And only God is all-seeing and knows that. And sometimes, like, it's very easy to feel like to feel doubt and to feel that discouragement. But the truth is that what's meant for you is meant for you. Like, if it is meant for you, you will get it. Like, there's no, that feeling of feeling jealous or feeling envious is like, it's natural. It's our humanity showing itself, like, it's easy to be like, damn, like, why can't I be like them? Or like, why couldn't I do that? But if it's your time, it will happen. And it's very easy to not see that in the moment. But the truth is, when it's your time, it's going to be on time. Like, Nipsey Hussle has this line in his song called Perfect Timing. And it's literally like, perfect timing, but sometimes, wait, I'm about to butcher this. The song Perfect Timing is like, but sometimes it feels too late. Like, but it's still perfect timing. It's just not on the timing that we wanted it to be on. That being said, I feel you. I definitely feel you. Like I said, I started this year with like extreme high hopes, extreme motivation, extreme like positive energy. A huge obstacle has been placed in front of me, and now I have to figure out how I'm going to navigate through that. But there are 3 things that I've learned in my short time dealing with this rejection that I hope can help you as you deal with yours, or whenever it happens, or whatever it is. Like, a lot of times dealing with rejection is about your mindset, and it's about how you approach certain situations. So the first one that a friend of mine told me, rejection is just redirection. A lot of times, like, we have a plan, you know what I'm saying? All of us, we love having plans, like checklists and things like that. We have a plan of what we want to do, and then some curveball comes in the way, and like, now the plan has changed. Like, the plan can no longer continue on because you have this big obstacle in the way. There's always a way around an obstacle. It might not be the way that you want it to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might not. The problem can be solved in multiple ways. This is life. This isn't mathematics. Like, in math, there's only usually one way to solve a problem. But when it comes to life, there's always multiple ways to solve a problem. So even if you have a problem and one solution didn't work, there's a multitude of other solutions that can solve that problem. So yeah, you might not have gotten this grant to complete this project, or this fellowship to do this grad program, or you might not have even gotten into the program you wanted to get into in the first place. There are other programs and other opportunities that are available if you choose to seek them out. There's never one right way of doing things. There's always other ways to do things. And just like there's a lot of different ways to get to one destination, there's a long route and there's a short route. So yeah, you might have to take the long route, and yeah, you might have to put extra effort to doing something, but there's always another way of getting something done if you are that determined. Which leads into my second point, there's always a way for the relentless. One thing about me, I don't give up. I literally don't give up. Like, I will apply to something however many times it takes me to get it, I will apply that many times. The very first video I made on how to deal with rejection back in like 2019, that's up on my YouTube channel. I just received a rejection letter from a grant that I had applied to. It was my first time applying to it, and I gave it my all. I gave it my extreme, like, number one effort. Like, I feel like I did the best that I could, and I didn't get the result I wanted to. And I said in that video that I was going to apply to it again. I applied to it again for the second time, and I still didn't get it. And I was like, yo, like, and what's crazy to me was that the second time I went to all them office hours. Like, I had like the program advisors going over my applications, giving me feedback, I was doing due diligence to make sure that my application was bulletproof, and then I still didn't get it. I think the second time it probably hurt more than the first time, because I was like, yo, I did all that I could to correct what my mistakes were the first time. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply again, and honestly, if I apply again, I might not get it, but at least I know, like, I tried 3 times to get this particular grant for my project, to at least say that I did my absolute best to try and apply for the grant. And then, sometimes you just gotta realize, like, it might not be for you, and the third time that I applied, I finally got it. So a situation like that, I always think of like the parable of like 3 feet away from gold. Whereas this guy is like digging in a tunnel for gold. This guy's 3 feet away from gold, and if he would have just like hit it one more time, he would have finally gotten to the treasure. But instead, he gives up and turns around. And that's how I approach a lot of things. It's like, you're always so close. And like, yeah, it might take you longer than it will take somebody else to do something, but like, just always think you're 3 feet away from goal. Do not give up, because you might give up, and literally, if you would have just did it one more time, 2 more times, 3 more times, like literally as many times as you can, you will get to whatever that treasure is. It is just a matter of being relentless. There's literally always a way for the relentless. And the third thing is, whatever is for you is for you. I know I mentioned it already, but it's worth mentioning again. Your self-worth is not determined by whether you get something or you don't get something. Your self-worth lies in your heart. Your credentials are in your spirit. You are the only person on this earth that can determine your worth. You are worthy of good things. You are deserving of good things. And yes, someone else may not see that in this moment or at this time, but their opinions does not matter. Like, it's not important. What matters is that you know that you gave it your best effort. And if you come to realize that you did not give it your best effort, at least you know what you can correct. As long as you know what the root cause of something is, you can always solve it. Awareness is always the first step to solving a problem or an obstacle. If you know the root cause, if you know the reason why something didn't work out, that means you can correct it for next time. If there was a gap in your application, there's always room for improvement, to be honest. Like, even if we give our best effort, there's always another level to our best effort that makes our best effort even better. I have 2 artists, my favorite artists, Burna Boy and Tyler the Creator. They both were nominated for their first Grammy. Tyler for Flower Boy, Burna Boy for African Giant, and they both lost the they didn't win the Grammy those years. And both artists were very, very disappointed. So disappointed to the point that they worked on another album. Both artists worked on another album, and you could feel their disappointment And what they did in their next album, how they tailor made it to fit kind of like the feeling, encapsulate the feeling that they were feeling, but also made another Grammy nominated award winning album because they were that determined to win a Grammy. And I feel like a lot of times stuff like this happens for us to like push the envelope, for us to like recognize that we do have more in the tank, that there is another level, just to show our relentlessness, just to show our commitment, our dedication, and how much we really, really want that thing. And a lot of times, like, sometimes we're not ready for it, you know, and it's crazy to say, because like in my case scenario, I'm like, yo, what do you mean I'm not ready for it? I am ready for it. And like, you can feel like, yo, I am ready for this thing, but the way in which we want it is just not the way that we think it's gonna show up in our lives. You know, maybe there's still more growing, maybe there's still more learnings, maybe there's still more like inner workings for ourselves, like internal work we have to do, some internal healing we have to do, that is preparing us for what it is that we desire. You know, people get things when they're ready for them, and when they're ready for them, most times it feels right on time. A lot of times when people get these blessings that they're not ready for, like how many artists, rappers for example, even athletes who get into the league, who get the record deal or whatever, and then they can't sustain it. It's almost like it came too early for them to even have the maturity, to have the wisdom, to have the commitment and the dedication needed to keep that blessing and to be a good steward of it. So what is for you, and it's gonna happen in divine timing. It might not be your timing, but it will happen in divine timing. Yes, rejection sucks. You know, first it comes in like waves of sadness, waves of disappointment, feelings of being heartbroken, discouraging, and then it becomes anger because now you're just like, oh, what the heck? Like, what happened? Then comes acceptance, and being able to accept the situation for what it is and transmute that negative energy into positive acts. You know, you don't want to just sit and do nothing. You know, you don't want to just sit and mope and dwell and be sad and just be in that feeling forever. You want to use that energy and put it into something else. Put it back into your work. Put it back into applying for other opportunities. Put it back, like, don't stop. Like, literally don't stop. Use that energy and transmute it and back into your work, because you are going to inspire the next generation of people who feel exactly like you felt when you got something and it didn't work out. So that being said, I hope this helps. I hope whatever you're dealing with that isn't working out in the way in which you want it to work out, I hope that you feel some sort of comfort knowing that you're not alone, knowing that there's other people out there who are going through the same thing, but also be encouraged that you're being redirected in the right direction. And though it might seem confusing and lack of clarity might be fogging, you know, your path and your purpose, just know if you open up and if you keep that spirit of like, I'm not going to stop, I'm going to be relentless, I'm going to keep persevering, there's always something at the end of this experience that will bring you closer to what it is that your heart desires. Just don't give up. There's always a way for the relentless. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. Leave a word of encouragement or a word of admonition down in the comment. Tell me how you overcame feelings of rejection. Maybe leave advice for someone who's going through it like myself. And remember, the genius in me sees the genius in you, and I'm always, always rooting for you. Peace.